everybody, it's Friday Farm Vlog. The sun just came up and it's time to do some farm chores. I love how the farm looks when the sun is rising in the morning and the sun is setting in the evening. It's just so pretty. Good morning, my little rooster babies. So Chucky and Doug that have been in here in this rooster tractor trailer now have some friends in here. So the 4 additional roosters that have moved in here are the 4 roosters that were in our chick coop that we were raising up alongside our female chicks that we are going to be keeping and integrating in with our flock. However, these roosters have come to an age where I need to now separate them from the female chicks. And so I moved them in over here. I did it at night while it was dark to hopefully make for a smooth transition. And I gotta say that it went really smoothly. By the second night, all of them were cuddling together on the roost. And for the most part, they get along pretty well. I have noticed a couple little squabbles here and there, but that's establishing the pecking order in this group. But they do have fresh grass in here. This is movable on wheels, so I can move them to more fresh grass. Normally I let Chucky and Doug out to free range, but I do want the 4 new roosters to learn that this is where their home is now. So I am going to keep them in here for a few more days so they get used to it, and then I'll let them out for free ranging. But the farm chores in the morning are pretty simple. I'm just making sure everyone has food and water. I always have to make sure this perimeter fence is closed because my dogs love to visit the neighbors. And of course, if the goats get out of their pen or if the chickens are free ranging, I don't want them having access to the road or especially predators getting into the fence. As far as the order of doing chores, I don't have a particular order. Sometimes it's just a matter of who is insisting on breakfast first, and today that is the goats. So the girls are always happy when they get their grain. I make sure I give them fresh water. They like fresh water twice a day. And of course, make sure that they have free choice hay inside the shed, outside the shed. And keeping their shed clean is just a matter of cleaning up as needed, spot cleaning, and adding extra shavings. So overall, really not too bad for a little morning routine. The boys that you hear over here, they're even easier because they don't require grain. But I do freshen up their water twice a day and make sure that they have plenty of free choice hay. While the girls eat their grain, I check on the boys, and they've got plenty of hay. I just put in a new bale last night, so I know they got plenty. Right, boys? Right? Yeah. They would love to get some grain, but my vet does not recommend grain for male goats, as there's concerns with male goats getting urinary stones and having difficulty urinating. So, for them, it's their hay and free choice supplements. And of course, they need fresh water. And by supplements, I mean that I leave out free choice loose goat minerals for my goats, and I'll also leave out free choice baking soda. And that way, if they feel like they need it, they can lick the loose minerals, they can have their baking soda. My female goats are not currently in heat, so it's a little bit easier right now. But I have it marked on the calendar so that I can be prepared for when these girls come back into heat. Hi, sweet girls. Hello. Hello. I do keep the girls and boys' hays in these hay nets. They are a slow feed hay net, and that just helps to reduce the amount of hay waste by trying to keep it in here rather than loose in this trough. So it definitely helps quite a bit, but there is still some hay loss. All right, now that the goats are happy, let's go take care of the chickens. Good morning. I do feed my chicks free choice, so I fill this up as needed, and they ate all of the rest of this last night, so I'm going to fill this back up. They're growing, so they do eat quite a bit of chick feed. I'm going to fill this up. There was quite a bit in here last night, so they probably got up this morning and finished it up. But look, you're still hungry. Let's go get more. Morning. I had 2 escape. Come on, pretty girl. They've been starting to enjoy free ranging, so they like when this gate opens up. But they need their breakfast. I know, girls. Come on into the coop to have it. It's safer. It's safer from squirrels and bunnies if it's up in the coop. Still not ideal, but the chicks need access, and I can't use a straddle feeder with my chicks because they're not big enough, but they'll be moving in with the chickens soon and be able to use a straddle feeder in there. There you go. Come on, girls. Good job. Everybody up. There they go. All right. So the chicks are pretty easy. Food and water, and I check on their bedding, and I add extra bedding, clean it out as needed. Now with the chickens, I make sure that they have plenty of water. They have a much bigger trough, so this does last them a few days, and so that has sufficient water. The treadle feeder that I usually fill it up with food about every 2 weeks. It is getting low, so I'm going to fill it up today. I'll show you that. And I do have chicks here in the chicken coop because Charlotte and Fern went broody this summer, and between the two of them they had 6 chicks. However, you will notice that there are less chicks today, and there's a reason for that. I'll explain after I feed them. They're pretty hungry. There's Wally and Otto. They're looking for their chick feed, so I'm going to get them some of that. No, I opened my treadle feeder to fill it, and this girl jumped in there. Did you get stuck? Come here. So the chicks are over here eating their chick food, but they also have their mom joining them, as well as T-Bone. You guys enjoying that? But the treadle feeder I don't normally keep open. I gotta close the top of that, and so they'll eat from the bottom treadle feed. Hi, my love. Excuse me. And I do like to clean out under the treadle feeder just to make sure that this step doesn't have any issues pressing down. There we go. Alright, excuse me, my love. And I do lock it into place, that way its lid is secure so they can't open it back up. So now they step on the step there to eat. And so that treadle feeder, where they have to use their weight to open it, that just helps keep mice and rats, any kind of rodents out of there. The opening opens up based on the weight. So a full-grown chicken's weight will depress that step and open up the lid, so I don't have to worry about lightweight rodents like rats, mice, rabbits, squirrels, those kind of things getting into the chicken feed. Okay, so the chicks and the chickens have their fresh food, fresh water. I gotta get in there and clean out the coop again. With 17 chickens, it can get a little messy in there, so I'm gonna get that all cleaned up. Aren't the chicks so cute? So we are missing 3 chicks, which would be Charlotte's 3 female chicks, and the reason for that is because I decided to find them a new home, and the reason being is that I am moving in the 12 chicks that I raised that are not related to my flock, and those are going to get integrated in here. I need to bring in some other genetics. I don't want to keep all the babies that my hens have because they're related to my roosters, and then they will be breeding back to their rooster father or rooster uncle. And so I want to make sure that my flock is genetically diverse, and unfortunately that does mean that keeping all of my hens' babies is not an option. But they went to a wonderful home in New York, and they'll be with other Buff Orpington chickens and a gorgeous Buff Orpington rooster when they come of age, and so I'm really happy for them. But I will miss them because I love seeing them interact with the rest of the flock. Now they were 11 weeks old. They were no longer relying on Mama Charlotte to take care of them. She was sleeping separately from them, and they were fully feathered, so the weather hasn't been an issue for them at all. Whereas Fern's babies, Otto and Wally, they are still very much attached to her. They sleep under her wings at night, and she's with them most of the day, checking on them, making sure that they're eating and drinking and foraging, and they're really cute together. Eventually I will be rehoming them. They are roosters, and so I can't keep them in my flock as they're related, and I already have my 2 roosters, so they will get rehomed at some point when they are old enough. But I think it's so cool that they went to New York. I love how my chicks are in different states. Most of them are in Massachusetts, but they are in other states, and especially with shipping hatching eggs, having my flock's eggs hatch in other states is so cool too. Which at this point we've sold 275 chicks and 209 hatching eggs. And now not all hatching eggs are going to hatch a chick, but with how high our fertility rate and hatchability rate is, I would think most of them hatched. But even so, that's still potentially 450 chicks from our farm, which is so cool. And the states that they are living in are Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Indiana, New York, South Carolina, Florida, Michigan, Texas, Louisiana, and Missouri. So that's 11 states. My goal is to have Buff Orpingtons from my flock in every state in the United States. Not sure that I could pull that off, but how cool would that be? So selling hatching eggs and selling chicks is shut down for the rest of the fall and through winter. I'm going to be starting up again late winter, early spring, just depending on demand, but I'm excited for another chick season after my hens have had a nice winter rest. So if you want some Buff Orpingtons from our flock, as chick season's approaching, just let me know. I'll put you on a hatching list, or I can mail you some hatching eggs. We got a lot of states we need to get some chicks into. Virginia, North Carolina, California, Tennessee. I don't know, maybe we can get some out there. Alright, so that's it for farm tours, because the roosters that I checked on first, I forgot to mention, they had plenty of fresh food and water. Free choice for them, so they are good to go. They got plenty of grass still in there, so I'm going to probably move their tractor trailer tomorrow. But overall, goats, chickens, the morning chores are pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I look forward to coming out in the morning and visiting with all my chickie babies and my goats. So thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you have an awesome Friday. And if you haven't started your farm yet, what are you waiting for? Get your farm on.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you want a farm? A wicked awesome farm? Watch this channel to learn what to do. We love to farm and we'll show you. Yeah.